Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of If I Was a Villain. Super excited about today's episode. After long exploring the internet and learning about one of the most iconic characters out there, the Joker, we haven't really seen a cool and deep comparison of the three characters who played the Joker over the years. Each of them definitely had a different color and vibe, and that's why we thought it was so important to bring the whole info into one vid, 10 minutes, which will help us understand the point of each of them. So let's start. A hero is only as strong as his villain. The old saying cannot be more true when it comes to Batman and his arch-nemesis, Joker. Ever since the first issue of DC's Batman comic book in 1940, Joker was already there. The criminal prankster was created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson, almost as iconic as the Caped Crusader himself. His prankster nature, chaotic mannerism, and iconic clown makeup are the exact opposite of the cool and reserved behavior of Batman and his alter ego Bruce Wayne, thus making them the perfect rivals. Like his archenemy, Joker has seen multiple versions. Every time Batman gets rebooted, he is always the #1 most anticipated villain to pop up. The criminal mastermind with ridiculously clownish behavior. What a contradiction! And yet, that's the charm of Joker. For decades, people relished watching him walk around with a huge grin on his face while doing the evilest acts, teasing and mocking his arch-nemesis with such glee. Of course, the lasting appeal of the smiling devil also owes a lot to the Joker's ever-evolving version. Just like the Dark Knight himself, Joker has gone through all kinds of iterations, from comical to cynical. The 1960s Batman TV show, the first live-action portrayal of the DC Comics character, had Joker, played by Cesar Romero, in its most gleefully absurd version. Jack Nicholson brought him to the big screen in 1989's Batman. The latest ones, played by Joaquin Phoenix in 2019's Joker and Barry Keoghan in 2022's The Batman, portray the Joker as dark, brooding villains. Joker evolved through time, which means the character always remains timely. Every cinematic version retains Joker's basic characteristics and clownish appearance, but each one is distinct in its own way. The characterization reflects the time that the film is made, and how the image of evil evolves in the media. We're going to analyze 3 recent Joker iterations, from 2008's Dark Knight, 2016's Suicide Squad, and lastly 2019's Joker, and see how they distinguish themselves. Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, 2008.
He turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?"
With that phrase, a legend is born. Nearly 15 years later, one cannot deny the enduring legacy left by Heath Ledger's Joker. The first comic book movie character to have won an Oscar, the triumph would forever be remembered alongside Ledger's tragic death at the age of 28, months before the film even premiered. Unexpectedly, his death by accidental overdose contributed to the image of the role. Ledger's Joker was a revelation. The movie, and his performance in particular, happened in an era of gritty comic book movies. It was no longer enough for superheroes to save the world from some random evil force. The film had to reflect something rooted in the real world. The visage changed, too. Joker might retain the clown makeup and purple suit, but it's more grotesque rather than theatrical. It's truly gritty. The Dark Knight explores themes of corporate greed, gray morality, and nihilism. Ledger's Joker commits his infamous acts for no particular reason.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Alfred famously said to describe the Joker, "Joker isn't motivated by personal vengeance or any particular ambition. He just wants to corrupt and expose people's inherent evil. Like me, basically." Joker's nihilistic value is meant to challenge Batman's belief in the soul of Gotham. This is a reflection of post-9/11 cynicism. People no longer trust traditional figures or each other, and nihilism becomes the answer to that. Nothing is serious, the world is already shitty anyway, so I might as well expose them all. And that's how Joker's goofy persona takes a dark turn, playing others like puppets in his twisted mind game. Jared Leto in Suicide Squad 2016. In 2016, people were getting bored of the dark tone popularized by Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. In its place, Marvel's vibrant aesthetic was in fashion. That year, Suicide Squad burst through the scene with its colorfully frightful sensibility. Once again, we see another version of Joker, one that leans more into his neurotic criminal gang leader side. Leto's Joker can be best characterized as the Joker of the Instagram era. Director David Ayer leans hard on Joker's cool aesthetic. He wears leather and chains like some kind of underground rock band frontman with teeth blackened, hair fashioned in a neon green punk rock cut, and tattooed chest bared. The fact that actor-musician Jared Leto is cast in the role shapes the direction. Leto's Joker is unstable in showy ways. He relishes in grand violent spectacles and engages in foolishness with his equally erratic girlfriend Harley Quinn. In the 2010s, social media completely dominated pop culture. Attention grabbing is the name of the game. Leto's Joker doesn't have much substance, but he sure as heck has a lot of styles. That style over substance culture is what this Joker really embodies. His badassery is performative, something meant to look cool without any purpose behind it. That made him a popular Halloween costume for a while, but made him largely forgotten nowadays, especially after a better Joker emerged. Joaquin Phoenix in Joker 2019. As soon as Joaquin Phoenix's Joker danced down that staircase, another Joker legend was born. The first standalone movie of the Crown Prince of Crime is an origin story. Phoenix plays Arthur Fleck, a timid, struggling comedian who suffers from a rare mental condition. He keeps trying to punch up, but life punches back down until he snaps. I always said that comedians and madness go side by side. Themes of government neglect and discharge of mental health are discussed broadly, at a time when people began to pay more attention to those things in real life. His downfall is painted as equally the failure of society as much as his own. We get to sympathize a little with this Joker, along with the multiple disappointments in his life that transformed him into the madman dancing away his pain with violence. This is in keeping with a recent trend of making villains sympathetic, an embrace of gray morality in the modern landscape. As long as comic book adaptations still make bank, the Joker will keep getting remade over and over again. Who knows what the next portrayal will be? Maybe the Joker will be a commentary on today's social justice sensibility, or another takedown of the corporate elite. No matter what, his bold red grin and pasty white skin will always be timeless. I think it's hard to say who was the better Joker among the three. Each one was really a champ and adapted to the spirit of the times. But if there's something that can be seen, is that we learned over time to enjoy loving our villains. We used to love to hate them and always look for the good ones to win. But today, we see their sensitive sides, why they became villains, and often appreciate them for the satirical and strong statements they have to say. So maybe the last thing we want to say is, may the good stay and show us what is right, but may the villain show us what is really true in reality. Stay tuned for the next episodes we're making for you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.